Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Extermination, issue number 5. So this is going to wrap everything up, man. Definitely digging this. And yes, excuse me, you're seeing this cover. This happens. All right, let's get through all these blank pages and this gorgeous pencil drawing of Stan Lee. All right, Extermination Part 5 of 5. Writer, Ed Brisson. Artist, Pepe Larraz. Colorist, Marty Gracia. Letters, VC's Joe Sabino, and cover artist Mac Brooks, with a bunch of variant covers by Mike Hawthorne and Frank D'Armata, another by Pepe Larraz and Marty Gracia, and another one by Oliver Coipel. And designer Anthony Gambino, and X-Men Original were created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So the X-Men are trying to fight off against Ahab. It's kind of freaking cool. You got the regular X-Men. You got the regular X-Men who are possessed by those two little freaky albino French twins. And you got some gorgeous art, man. Oh, my God. Sake, Armor. This is like the best I've ever seen her look. Man, she is gorgeous. And there's a big, fat, double-page spread in here. Oh, man, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Seeing the two angels fighting. Seeing, is that Cannonball up in the air? I think it is. Hard to tell. But what do you call Armor going up against Gentle? Cyclops jumping around shooting people. You might be like, wait, Cyclops? No, he got killed in the last issue, right? No, right in the very beginning, it's actually shown that it was Mimic who got shot. He's able to heal just a little bit, so he's actually okay. I think he survives this. But Scott wasn't touched. He just lost his ruby quartz lens, so he wasn't able to get up and fight. He's blinded, effectively, but he's given back his ruby quartz lens, and he goes out into combat. He's leading the charge. The kid Cyclops is kicking ass in this. He's like, don't call me Kid Cyclops. Kid Cable says something similar in this also. Anyhow, so huge fight, man. Huge fight, and it all makes sense, too. But Kid Cable's like, listen, we need to fix this right now. We need to send you 5 X-Men back. Pronto. It's like, wait, really? Right now? It seems a little bit anticlimactic that they just get sent back so easily after it was always so difficult before. But if you've been reading all of them, you see why certain things were so difficult, why it was so difficult to make these things happen, all these events happen at one time. And it's just weird that there's such a slur of events happening right now that all of a sudden, the comic book, there are some parts that feel rushed. Like, the X-Men couldn't hurt Ahab to save their lives, and all of a sudden Cyclops comes back with his ruby quartz lens and Cable with his gun, and these two take out the Pequod. They take out Ahab's ship, and Cable one-on-one takes one shot and freaking blows Ahab practically into pieces. Like his right arm gets incinerated. I mean, blasted apart, dude. Like, these guys just kick some butt. Now, the way that they're able to reverse what had went on, we don't learn how to reverse it, but Jean Grey, young Jean Grey, does learn how to do it. And the way that they do this is beautiful. Look, if you look at any one instance in the past 2 years or so of the time travel attempts of the young X-Men to try and go back home, you'll see that a lot of them just don't make sense. I don't know if all this stuff was planned, but I sincerely doubt it was all planned. But Ed Brisson takes this stuff. He takes all of those. He's like, okay, I'm going to make sense of that in this one issue. And he does. He does. If you've read enough of those time travel attempts by the young X-Men to get back home, and all the times that they failed, you could see why they failed, and how Ed Brisson just obviously read every single one of those and says, I'm going to fix it all right now in this one issue. It did seem kind of rushed, but I'm okay with it, because it worked really well. Anytime that you solve all the problems in just one issue, it's like, come on, man. There's got to be something else you could have solved in the previous issue, right? Maybe an Aftermath book. Oh, they do kind of have an Aftermath book. The Exterminated. What the heck is that thing called? It's all the way in the back here. The X-Men, the Exterminated, yeah. This, Extermination, very different. But we see how young Jean Grey learned how to help Jean Grey, older Jean Grey, who is now in the future, to help all of the X-Men and to cure these two young mutants. Now, I'm curious to see what happens with these two young mutants, because we have these two new young mutants who are extremely powerful, who can do a lot of good in the world right now. And of course, next time Ahab shows up, and you know he's going to show up again at some point with his silly gimmick and everything, yeah, this is probably going to come back to bite them in the butt. But that's what they do. I did but. Anyway, I do like the way that they solved everything. Again, albeit rushed, this was a really good explanation for how everything ended. And I will give you this because it doesn't spoil the comic book, but it does give you what's what. And hopefully it's encouragement to buy this comic book. Extermination, issue number 5, has this in the end. That's right. Young Cable talking to Cyclops, and apparently he knew he was there the whole time. They're sharing it. Father and son are sharing a beer together. So I'm just saying, while they're sharing this cold one, we now know that Cyclops maybe didn't die. Either way, he's here, and it's time for him to go back. So this is going to be his first cameo reappearance before the actual full-on appearances. This is a lot of what's to come pretty soon. What do you call it? So we got Uncanny X-Men issue number 1. We already seen X-Men The Exterminated. Down here, X-Force number 1. I'm looking forward to reading that. That should be actually really fun down here. But this one right here, Uncanny X-Men issue number 8. That's actually interesting because I read 7. I know what you're saying. Well, yeah, that's out this week, right? No, actually, issue number 6 is out this week. A bunch of the other comics came out early, and I accidentally, real talk, accidentally read everything while I was at the comic book store for the extra 4 hours that I was there today. I just read everything that was available to me, and I never bothered to ask anybody, hey, what's going on here? So I technically know what's going to happen, not just in this issue, but in the next issue, the follow-up issue. I'm not going to reveal anything that happens in those issues, or in that issue, because I'm not a jerk. But, yeah, go and check out the other X-Men book that came out this week. Issue number 6 of Uncanny X-Men is pretty good, too. The idea that the current team is now explained because of this book that we just read, Extermination number 5. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.